Hello, I'm Oliver Colling, and this is the My 70s TV Childhood Quiz. Welcome to the My 70s TV Childhood Quiz. We are a quiz which tests your knowledge of 1970s TV trivia in a 4-round 20-question contest every fortnight. We are the sister podcast to My 70s TV Childhood, which celebrates what it was like to grow up in the UK during the 1970s and the big part that television played in our and our families' lives back then. If you are joining us for the first time, then you are most welcome. We've recently celebrated releasing our 200th episode, so if you like what you hear, there is a substantial back catalogue for you to catch up on. Every 2 weeks, we present 20 meticulously crafted, trivia questions focused on the rich history of what was on 1970s UK television. Whether you're an enthusiast or just faintly nostalgic, this quiz offers an engaging opportunity to revisit a distinctive era marked by unique fashion, memorable theme tunes, and popular family programmes. If you are new to the quiz, then you are very welcome. If you're a regular player coming back for more, thank you for your continued engagement. Now, the feedback you've been sending in for the last few rounds has been quite interesting, with some users finding the questions straightforward, while others consider them quite challenging or maybe even too hard. Do you know what? I think this means we've got it about right. If you want to share your thoughts on the quiz, then please do so by emailing quiz@my70stvchildhood.com or by engaging with one of our many social media sites. Our quiz is just for fun and features 4 rounds of 5 questions each. Each correct answer earns a point, and that's about it. So grab a pen and paper and a favourite beverage. It's tea for me again this week. Oh, and it's gone a bit cold too, unfortunately. And settle down for our 65th 70s TV trivia quiz. So if you're ready to begin, let's start with round 1. And this is a round called Name the Franchise, and it is very simple. I will play you the theme identity tune for 5 1970s ITV franchises, and you have to tell me the name of the company. For example, Granada Television. And I use them as an example as they tended not to use a tune when they put their opening credits up. So let's begin with franchise 1. And franchise number 2. How about franchise 3? And what about franchise 4? I can only think about one TV show after hearing that. Bonus point available if you can guess which show that is. And finally, how about franchise 5? Okay, that was relatively easy, I think, so let's move on to round 2. And this is our regular marathon or Phil Rouge round, so named in honour of the recurring rounds on It's a Knockout. I will ask you questions related to previous episodes of our podcast, so regular listeners may have a very, very small advantage here. Okay, question 1. In September 2025, we look back at Magpie, the show many of us probably pretended to like better than we did, really, and better than Blue Peter, because it was allegedly more hip and trendy. But what was the name of the heartthrob presenter with dark curly hair who presented the show between 1972 and 1980? Question 2. Still in 2025, we went back to the days when Kung Fu was the ratings favourite. Who played the lead role in the show? The monk Kwai Chang Caine. So who played Kwai Chang Caine in Kung Fu? Question 3. In January 2024, we remembered the rather bleak vision of the future that was shown in Survivors. Which Doctor Who writer created the show? And question 4. Sitcoms featured in June 2021, including On the Buses, featuring Reg Varney and co. But what was the name of the bus company featured in the show? So what was the bus company in On the Buses? And question 5. We recently celebrated our 200th episode. But in what month of what year was the first episode released? So what month of which year was the first episode released? So we're at halfway. Going well? Let's make it even better with round 3. Which is our famous spin the wheel and name that tune mashup round. How this works is that I will spin our specially constructed, at great expense, Wheel of Fate to choose a year from the 1970s. I'll then input that year into our state-of-the-art AI-powered theme tune generator, which will generate 5 theme tunes of shows first showed on UK television during that year. All clear? Well, let's give it a go anyway. So let's spin the wheel. And it's landed on... This is so exciting, as I really have no idea where it's going to land. And it's landed on 1971. I'm not sure I've had that one for a while. Okay, let me input that into our AI-powered theme tune generator and see what we get. Okay, and let's begin with theme tune 1. That, I have to say, is a mad theme for a rather mad show. How about theme tune 2? This for theme tune 3. And here's an absolute belter for theme tune 4. And finally, what about theme tune 5? And so we're on to our last round already. And this is our TV Times round, where anything 70s TV trivia related goes. Question 1. In which year was the classic film The Wizard of Oz first broadcast on UK network television? Question 2. The Invisible Man series featured David McCallum as a scientist who managed to make himself invisible. What was the scientist's name? So which character did David McCallum play in The Invisible Man? Question 3. Which actor starred in both Planet of the Apes and The Fantastic Journey, each of which were short-lived US TV shows that were shown at Saturday tea times in the UK? And question 4. What was the name of the BBC children's series shown in 1975, where all the population of Britain went slightly mad and attacked and destroyed all machinery and technology? And finally, question 5. How many flying ducks were on Hilda Ogden's mural wall covering in Coronation Street? So how many flying ducks were on Hilda's mural? And that's it. Our 65th quiz is at an end. But before I reveal the answers, let's go back to last time's bonus question. I asked you, what colour was Baba Papa, the French animated shape-shifting blobby type of thing in the cartoon of the same name? Now this one was a bit difficult for those of us who, like me, watched in black and white, but Baba Papa was pink. Well done if you got that right. This week's bonus question is this. Which US TV detective often left a room only to come straight back in and say, just one more thing? If you know the answer, then let us know by dropping an email to quiz@my70stvchildhood.com. So, on to this time's answers. Our first round, name the franchise. Franchise number 1, that was Thames Television. Franchise number 2, that was Yorkshire Television. Franchise number 3 is probably the most difficult of them all. That was the theme for Grampian. And franchise number 4, that was the theme for Anglia TV. And the show I always think about when I hear that is Sale of the Century. So a bonus point if you got that one. And franchise 5, that's the theme tune to ATV. All right, onto our marathon Phil Rouge round. What was the name of the dark curly-haired heartthrob who presented Magpie between 1972 and 1980? That was Mick Robertson. Question 2. Who played the lead role in the show Kung Fu, the monk Kwai Chang Caine? That was David Carradine. And question 3. Looking back at Survivors, which Doctor Who writer created the show? And that was Terry Nation. And question 4. In On the Buses, what was the name of the bus company in the show? Well, that was the Luxton and District Traction Company. But if you got Luxton Bus Company, I'll let you have that. And question 5. Having celebrated our 200th episode, what month of which year was the first episode of this podcast released? And the answer to that was September 2020, which seems like a very long time ago. On to our Name That Tune round. Theme tune 1, that was the theme tune to the slightly mad Jason King spin-off from Department S. Theme tune number 2, that was Dave Allen at Large. Theme tune number 3 is a bit of a tricky one. That was the theme tune to Grasshopper Island, which was about 3 boys who ran away to an island. Grasshopper Island had their adventures there. Theme tune 4, I think many of you have probably got this one. That was the theme tune to Follyfoot. And theme tune 5 was the theme to Alias, Smith and Jones. Right, on to our final TV Times round. In which year was the classic film The Wizard of Oz first broadcast on UK network television? It's broadcast on Christmas Day 1975. But you only needed 1975 for the point. And what was the name of David McCallum's character in The Invisible Man? That was Daniel Weston. Question 3. Which actor starred in both Planet of the Apes and The Fantastic Journey, both of which were short-lived tea time favourites on a Saturday? That was Roddy McDowall. And question 4. What was the name of the BBC children's series first shown in 1975, where the population of Britain went slightly mad and attacked and destroyed all machinery and technology? That was The Changes. And I love that. That still rather disturbs me now. And finally, question 5. How many flying ducks were on Hilda Ogden's mural wall covering in Coronation Street? There were 3. So how have you done? Are you swinging from the chandeliers or hanging your head in shame? Whichever, thank you for playing. And I hope you enjoyed the quiz. And if you have, then please tell your friends. And do like, rate and review us wherever you get your podcast. We will return next week with our next regular podcast and in a fortnight's time with another quiz. Until then, take care, look after all those you love, and join us again soon for more from My 70s TV Childhood and the My 70s TV Childhood quiz.